waiting for the rest of the field to line up, and changeable and drying conditions now. As we talked about with Paul Manuel, it's all about what do we do? How do we alter the tyre pressures for the start of the race, for the end of the race? And then come on. So 10 laps. Geordie Peters, you've been out and about. How's it changing out there at the moment?
Well, I nearly got blown away walking into the commentary booth. It is very, very, very windy out there. Some of the worst wind I've ever experienced at a racetrack, that's for sure.
So yes, Cyclone Dovey having a certain impact here with the racing in Hampton Downs. So now the drivers see how they can handle these drying conditions. Brock Cooley's away. Marvin Towers, number 112 in the BG TV8. Sun shining at Hampton Downs. Certainly got a dry line now, and there's number 112 in the GT2 class. Hayden Gear in that little mini. All the way from Papakura. Nigel Carl country as well.
I believe all of these guys actually went out on the track on wet weather tyres because the track was wet when they were lining up on the assembly grid. But the wind is blowing the track nice and dry, blowing the bad weather over top, and now we've got sunshine. Mind you, the cloud cover is just hidden.
Yeah, that's the problem, isn't it? By the time you get out on the dummy grid, you think it's going to be wet, but then that wind is certainly going to have a huge impact because it's like a big blow dryer at the moment because it's just drying out that track so fast. And then you get the odd little sprinkle around one part of the circuit. So it's going to be a challenging day for the drivers and a bit of a guessing game about, as we talked about with Paul, with your tyre wear and your tyre temperatures. See where they go chasing the speed.
See Brock Cooley there, look for a move on the inside. Brock actually, you might remember if you tuned in yesterday, pulled off the side of the track. He broke an axle. They got that fixed overnight, replaced the diff and everything. Brad Jesson as well, he retired from the race, and there was some electrical gremlins. So both of those guys, I've got those cars back sorted again. They're back out there running, and I'm sure they'll be towards the pointy end of the field. There's Brad Jesson on your screen now. Car number 9, Where's Engineering.
From Pukekohe, so he should be pretty familiar with these sort of, not so much conditions, but also being able to race on an Evo like that. 76, Sean Brown. Brock Cooley working his way through the field. Where's Adam Newell? He's in the prototype, the Ford prototype, number 68, further back down the field.
Just what I've seen there, we're talking about all the drivers being on wet tyres. They're all hunting for a bit of water to cool the tyres down. The wet tyre will heat up really, really fast on a dry track. They're going to try and manage the temperature, so they'll be searching all over the road for little bits of water down the straights to cool that tyre down and stop it from overheating to try and maintain as much grip as possible.
There's the Ford powered Daytona prototype of Adam Newell from the Naki from Normandy. Had some great battles with the likes of Glenn Smith and Johnny DeVeth. Johnny DeVeth is actually here but racing in a different car this weekend. He's got the Holden Super Tour out. And looks like the Evo's got a bit of speed there, being challenged by Brock Cooley. Looks like he goes searching for that grip.
Just watch Brad here. Right, he's going to stay defensive. Kind of tried to search for some water to try and keep those tyre temps in check while he's engaged in this battle with Brock Cooley. Brock's probably got a little bit more speed over Brad in that car. But these two have some great battles. Get on with each other pretty well. There we are. You see Brad pulling all the way hard to the left of your screen, to the right of the circuit, trying to find the water to keep the tyres cool.
Brock Cooley from Wellington, now moved up to Mungawhai, with the cars prepared down in Wellington. Number 116, the pretty cool looking Batman type sort of RX-7. And he's going to make the pass. So how will Brad Jesson react?
Sean Brown's buying into this battle as well. He's sitting behind the orange Nissan. Loving these two battling. It's allowing him to catch up, and Brad's run quite wide there. Sean's going to go up around the outside.
They're both going wide, aren't they? Both searching for grip, looking for it. And drifting onto the ripple strips. Gets it back off the grass, back on the tarmac. Wee moment.
Sean Brown from Hampton there. It's his first weekend in this new car. He was racing a star car in the GT3 and 4 class last year. He's moved up now to something a bit bigger, a bit more powerful.
Nick Jones having a look down the inside, had a few issues yesterday, but good to see him sweeping around in that Kerry Jones Engineering Nissan.
Still searching for some water to try and keep those tyres cool down the straight. It seems to be an opportune moment. There's a few little puddles still left on the side of the circuit. On that straight out of the Porsche Dipper down to the Daylight EM sweeper.
Great chance for these guys with their opening round of the Trade Zone GT1, 2, 3 and 4 class, just to get sort of familiar back racing again. You know, you've come out of COVID, you've had the traffic light system, but you've still got to shake off the cobwebs and get back behind the wheel and just get the feel of motor racing, but get the feel of your car and the whole package together again. As Shane Dyer said yesterday, a shocking day with him, but a bit of hard work overnight, and there he is picking up a race win today. Marvin Towers trying to hold on for the lead as long as he can. Brock Cooley, as you like, takes it away.
Yeah, pretty simple move there for Brock. He's certainly got a lot more car pace in his machine, but nonetheless, Marvin Towers, cool car there, cool piece of kit to be racing amongst such a variety of other cars as well. Very unique, Marvin Towers' car.
Been around for many years. The great thing about this it's more like a club, the Trade Zone GT1, 2 and 3. It is like a club, so they've got plenty of characters.
Great atmosphere too amongst all the drivers, the teams and competitors. They have their barbecues, you know, on a Friday and a Saturday night, have a few beers with each other at the circuit. Some of them, of course, when COVID permits, camp out at the circuit. Keep it a real sort of family affair.
Wasn't really barbecue weather last night though, was it?
No.
Everyone was battening down the hatches and heading for the garage.
Yeah. Cyclone Dovey wreaking havoc with us this weekend in the changeable conditions, but luckily we've gotten away pretty well so far.
And it's been really good driving by all the drivers today. A little bit of smoke, might be a tyre wear coming out of the back of the number 9, Brad Jess and Evo. I'm just saying this, we've seen the wet conditions, we've seen the windy conditions, and now you've got drying conditions, but the driving has been really good by all the drivers in all the various classes, because it could have been a day when you have a lot of panel damage, a lot of crashing and smashing, but no, they've been straight onto it.
Oh, absolutely, and you know, that's a testament to all the drivers, you know, the skill, but also their approach towards it in these changeable conditions. But I think for a lot of these guys, it's the first time they've gone racing in a you know, huge time, thanks to COVID at the back half of 2021. We didn't get to go racing like we usually would, and so now they just really want to get out there and enjoy it and not get into trouble. Brad Jessen's still got a lot of smoke coming out the back of that car though. I can't work out if it's a tyre rubbing or maybe it's got some oil dropping onto the exhaust or something. A lot of smoke though. I think it might be a little bit more than a tyre rub.
Bit of an ongoing issue for that car. He had a few moments yesterday, so he's still got speed though. He did a 1:13.5 last lap, and his best lap was that lap, 1:13.5. Hans Reutemann hunting him down behind. He's done a 1:13.3. So Adam Newell, all that horsepower, but on a slippery track like today, perhaps not the best. He's done a 1:12. That's the fastest. A 1:11.1.
Brad's going to go for a move here at the Porsche Dipper on Brock Cooley, so that's for the lead of the race. So whatever is going on with Brad's car, it's not affecting his performance too much. I just wonder if that is... I can't work out where that's coming from. It's coming from the engine. Maybe that's... We've seen it here before. The engine starts smoking, it's about to go, but you've got a huge amount of horsepower in its final moments.
Meanwhile, Brad Jessen has grabbed that lead. He's opened up a bit of a spot, but Hans Reutemann now has grabbed second spot. And he's moved up in front of Brock Cooley, who's now going to come back at Brock Cooley.
Look at all the lead. Oh, that's a lot of smoke now coming out of the back of Brad Jessen's car. You can see all the leaves and the sort of foliage blowing across the track there. It just shows how fierce the wind is today. It's incredibly strong out there, and that'll be wreaking havoc with some of these cars at the front here. The aerodynamic devices will be affected by the wind, the tailwinds, the crosswinds, the headwinds as they go through certain parts of the circuit, certainly the more high-speed parts, such as coming up and over turns 2 and 3 and the Daylight EM sweeper as well.
So it's the man from Pukekohe at the moment, leading a good charge by Hans Reutemann, who's coming on strong, number 29. Can he hang on? What's happening with the car? Smokey and the Bandit at the moment. Brock Cooley just sort of sliding back after getting an opening win in the class. Now it looks like it's going to be a chance for Brad Jessup to try and grab a win for the GT2s.
Keep an eye on it. Comes up and over, and what happens to it under brakes? It seems under brakes at turn 1 you get a good puff. Smoke, here we go. It's the braking zone now. Yeah, there's certainly a bit more. So maybe on the downshift, maybe it could be gearbox related there, or maybe when you get a big rev on the car, it's on the engine. Sorry, there's more smoke coming up. What about here? Don't really get the big puff there. So bit of a confusing one at the moment. Though doesn't seem to be affecting. But more coming out here. I can't quite put my finger on it.
No doubt Brad will try and sort that out at the end of the race. Now he's coming under pressure. Looks like whatever it is, he's missed a gear. Hans Reutemann ducks around the outside, coming out of the hairpin. Now the 2x2 going down towards the Porsche Dipper. And I was about to say, it hasn't really stopped his speed, but gee, it's smoking. But the breakout time for the GT2s is a 1:12, and already Brock Cooley has done a 1:12.077, so he's right on the breakout. And these guys are doing 1:13, so that shows you how much the track has actually dried out since we started racing in the rain with the high Q components Formula First at 9 o'clock this morning when it was wet, and they were visibly 10 seconds slower than their dry times.
Yeah, the same we saw in the Toyota 86s as well, just how much the weather changed the race, and it was very wet. That was only one race ago, effectively, and now we're basically back to a completely dry track again.
Hans Reutemann, last lap. Rebuilt that car. Brock Cooley sitting back in third. Adam Newell trying to work his way back up through the field now. Going to get past some of the slower cars. Take on Sean Brown. Going to go down the inside line now. And he's got Marvin Towers in front of him, so you'll work up to 4th place. This last lap. But certainly not a chance for him to try and race through the field in the GT1 class, the Daytona Ford prototype. Still a very cool looking machine with all the aerodynamics. Nick Jones still circulating in the 48 Nissan. But it's this man, Hans Reutemann. Smooth and fast, beautiful looking Nissan Silvia. Paired after a big crash, and now he's got all that speed and all that confidence, and he's going to take the checkered flag to wrap up the race for the Trade Zone GT1, GT2. Hans Reutemann gets the win. Brad Jessup will hold on for a smoky second, and Brock Cooley brings it home for third. Hayden Gear in the Mini, he's further back down the field. Adam Newell will flash home for 4th in front of Marvin Towers. Then it's going to be a battle between Sean Brown and Nick Jones. So confirming that result, Hans Reutemann gets the win for Trade Zone GT1, GT2. Brad Jessup, number 9, coming home in second, and number 116. Brock Cooley coming home in 3rd spot. Then it's Adam Newell, Towers, Brown, Jones, Gear, Jones, and Sean Midgen rounding out the top 10.